I think every story finds its form. Um, I had been wanting to make a documentary on my grandfather for for some time, and I'd kind of been toying with the idea and going over the paperwork and the data which I had of his time and how during the 65 war he was taken prisoner of war and things like that, and the aftermath of it. So I had been wanting, so I had spoken to a couple of his colleagues in the army who were with him while, you know, uh, he was a prisoner of war and things like that. And but that kind of we discussed it, and he was not very keen on it because he saw logistical. Being a producer, he saw logistical issues with obviously you have to go by the army and all of those things. So it was kind of in a limbo, that whole idea. So during the pandemic, we were obviously stuck and everything, and she was undergoing loneliness, depression also at a certain point of time, like most of us were, and she was stuck in Delhi. So the moment the flights opened, we went to Delhi. So at that point of time, I kind of went over the memorabilia that's there of my grandfather in the house, all of those things that you see, his photographs and everything. So then the whole idea came to me that, I want to do a documentary on him, but it's his story that I want to tell somewhere. So maybe it's not the whole story, but bits of it, somewhere. And what is the thread that I can use to tell that story? So I kind of found my, wings in the fact that there was this one story of my mother who has been going through a certain mental phase, for the last 3-4 months. And there is this one story, that larger story that I want to tell. So I kind of sat down and wrote and kind of tried to thread the whole thing about it. And the whole idea of how relative confinement, how relative pain, and how relative the idea of suffering is. What this person is doing. She's ultimately free, she's in her house. But there is this letter which she reads, which was an actual letter that my grandfather had obviously written to her when from there on her 18th birthday. He had written. So there is this person who's away from his family, who's away from his in a nation, and he's a prisoner of war. And you cannot even imagine what he might be going through. Yeah. So is that loneliness? Is that confinement? Or is this confinement? It's all relative. It's not that this one is lesser than that, but it's just that the whole thing that possibly she kind of gets a perspective,